Festival is a special occasion of fostering cultural unity among diverse ethnic groups through playing of music, dancing, and other activities. Some festivals usually start with a tree lighting, and cultural parade. Different ethnic groups dress in their cultural attires. The tourism potential of organizing festivals in Nigeria is enormous.
If the government could lay more emphasis on tourism and festival, it will go a long way to generate employment opportunity for the unemployed youth in the country.
It's a kind of unity in a country, bringing people from different backgrounds together.
It promotes healthy living among people. There are festivals that you dance, that's promotion of healthy living.
If we carry on with our festival, it makes us believe that we still have a culture, something we hold on to, and then it's like kind of reviving something that's gone.
Festival is an important venue, you know, to create job, because when you organize festivals, you kind of engage people in various activities, because people engage in performing various activities in the festival. So in that venue, you are occupying people's mind while engaging them at the same time, and that will create job and tourism. It says that people will come from various parts of the country or the world to come and witness and, you know, be entertained by your tourism activity that is going on currently in any location.
Festival is an important cultural and tourism fiesta, refreshing and interesting experience for the society. It brings the old and the young together, reminding the young generation of their cultural values. And for the government, a source of revenue.
You are watching NTA, Nigerian Television Authority.
NTA2Lagos Network Center.
Like the vintage wine, it can only get better, and that's what you get on Nigeria's most authoritative, educative and entertainment breakfast show, Morning Ride. Morning Ride, better improved, now comes to you for 1.5 hours every Saturday, 10 to 11:30, with added packages which include the news updates, trending on the social media, children's gist, in addition to the regulars, just for your viewing delights. And you can catch our repeat broadcast ads. For participation and advert placement, please contact the producer or call our marketing department on Morning Ride. Enjoy a jolly good ride.
never an end road. Follow the road. It will lead you somewhere. So don't give up. The first major information was to Esau. Esau, make me a venison such as I love, so that my heart will bless you. But this style of approach towards life made him to miss the blessing. The animal that Jacob ended up preparing for the father has always been around the house, but he chose to go far into labor to go and bring another animal. By the time he will come, the father has blessed Jacob. You've got to plan, long time plan, short time plan, whatever is the plan, start planning, because not planning at all is planning to fail. Opportunity of a lifetime must be taken in the lifetime of that opportunity, because opportunities are not permanent. Anywhere your parents failed, may God use you to correct the error.
Desire and I long to merge.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Ride. On the show today, we promise to give you a whole lot package for your viewing pleasure. Of course, it is to inform, educate, and entertain you, only if you stay with us. My name is Julie George Morsinde, and on the lineup today, well, we'll begin by saying it is no longer news that the federal government has placed a ban on codeine-based cough syrup, the consumption of which is really alarming. It is indeed a social menace. We shall be looking at that on the show today, as this follows the premiere of a documentary by the BBC Africa Eye and the BBC Pidgin. We have one of the key players of this documentary in the house today to tell us how they went undercover to really uncover this social menace, the syndrome of codeine. Today, 5th of May, is International Day of the Midwife, and we are celebrating this unique set of women today on Morning Rise to tell us how indeed they are contributing and helping the woman and the child in nation building. You don't want to miss this chat. Plus, a digital expo coming soon. You don't want to know, you really do want to know, Nigeria stands on the cashless economic policy, an initiative by the Central Bank. Plus, indeed, a whole lot more with MC Bishop, who will give us so much entertainment on Morning Ride this morning, only if you stay with us. Let's start the show now with this musical by Davido. He titles it Assurance. Please stay with us.
Bang bang, biggie biggie, heavy heavy, biggie biggie, heavy heavy. You're the one I want to. Before my liver start to fail, you're the one I need before cassava start to fail. And if I ever leave make what I carry me to go far away. So I am looking for the sister. Show my lover. She got the dollar. She the wear designer. So I am looking for the sister. Show my lover. She got the dollar. She the wear designer. So give me assurance. Assurance. I give my baby assurance. I give my baby lifetime insurance. Yeah. Assurance. Assurance. I give my baby assurance. I give my baby lifetime insurance. Yeah. Biggie biggie, heavy heavy. Bang bang. Biggie biggie, heavy heavy. Baby do you want me? Biggie biggie, heavy heavy. Biggie biggie, heavy heavy. Baby do you want me? my love is sweeter.
That was Davido doing Assurance. They're interesting music piece there. Are you just tuning in? This is Morning Ride on your reach out station NTA2. It's time now for us to join Elizabeth Omori for the updates of the news. Hi Elizabeth.
It's good to see you, Julie. Thank you. You look good as well.
Thank you. Please say that again.
I like the colors actually.
Oh, thank you.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Ride. I'm Elizabeth Omori. A strategic approach to solving some of the socio-economic challenges in the country has been suggested as a measure to check what they described as the unwholesome idea of some youths leaving the country. This from the spectrum of opinions at a session to examine global intervention for resettling and reintegrating stranded migrants who returned to Nigeria. Michael Olaleye reports that while receiving another batch of Libyan returners, the International Organization for Migrants promised to offer business trainings for over 700 migrants.
The arrival of this set of 165 migrants from Libya makes the figure of voluntary returnees rise to 7,911 since the Joint Initiative for Migrant Protection and Reintegration was launched in 2017. 1 year down the line, the migrants are still arriving with tales of dehumanizing experiences of their failed journey.
Libya has kill Nigeria like fly. Like we don't know how the route is. We just try the route because we are not going to Libya. We want to transit from Libya to Europe.
Ah, God. That is because Libya, your burger you to Libya will sell you, Konoshoma will sell you, Ushama will sell you, as in they are using Nigeria for money.
I'm not going back. Oh. Nothing. If I want to go back, maybe when God has blessed me with money, I will use flight. I won't use land.
Strategies for resettling and reintegrating the returnees into the society using empowerment schemes and reuniting mechanism were discussed at a session at the airport with the media.
The IOM has provided the business training for over 700 returnees. For those who are looking how to reestablish their life through any kind of business, they can opt for the provision of assistance in a form of the housing, education.
We have shelters where we have counselors and social workers whose duty is to help them live better lives.
We make sure that we take phone numbers down. We follow up with phone calls. Where we reach them, we continue to talk to them, counsel them.
All hope is not lost. They are just coming in, and the assurance I want to give them is that the Nigeria they left is not Nigeria coming to meet.
Drawing up a program of action that will gainfully engage youth in the country and mitigate against unnecessary trips to Europe and other destinations, stakeholders agreed is necessary to check the trend.
The ongoing joint health sector union strike may be extended to Lagos State if the demands of the union are not met on or before the 9th of May. Already, health workers in the state say they have been instructed to down tools if parties to the negotiations fail to reach a truce. Paul Omokago has an update.
The strike, which extended into the second week, has affected healthcare services at federal health institutions. However, general hospitals and healthcare centers in Lagos are still operating. Some officials from the Medical and Health Workers Union and the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives say they are warming up to join their colleagues in a nationwide industrial action if the situation remains unresolved.
What we are really after is the fight for the government to address the demands of the workers. Once the demands are met, nobody is actually interested in going on strike.
Across the state, we have our peculiar issues with our respective state governments. But you see, we have cardinal issues from the national headquarters. Unless, of course, those issues are addressed in conjunction with other peculiar issues that we have across the states. All the states have been requested or have been directed, it's not even a request, they have been directed to join the strike come midnight, 9th of May.
Reacting to the ongoing strike, a medical doctor expressed concerns over the industrial dispute, urging the federal government to find a lasting solution to the issues.
It's really bad that we have strikes, and sometimes it's really pitiable that we have strikes about the things that we have strikes about. Doctors are not satisfied, the nurses are not satisfied, the lab workers are not satisfied, the gate men are not satisfied. Nobody is happy with what is being paid in the health sector. So I think improving pay for the health sector in general and health sector workers is an absolute necessity. Because in fact, as at now, we are having a lot of migration.
The joint health sector unions embarked on an indefinite strike on 18th April 2018 over demands bordering on their welfare and working conditions. In Lagos, Paul Omukagu, NTA News.
Private sector participants in waste management in Lagos State, popularly known as PSP, are now to cut waste generated in residential and public places in Lagos. The Commissioner for Environment made this known at a news briefing in Alausa, Ikeja. Nusa Ursula reports.
In the last couple of months, Lagos, Nigeria's economic nerve center, has been overtaken by refuse. The state had last year embarked on the review of its waste management scheme and commissioned a consortium of waste managers led by Visionscape, an environmental utility group. The group was expected to deploy technology, better funding, and germane solutions to execute the initiative. The government believed that its previous scheme on waste management was not producing the maximum effect, and as such decided to deploy more scientific means to recover and recycle waste into raw materials for use in producing other products. However, the disengagement of the previous operators under the private sector participation and the rancor that followed the transition to Visionscape frustrated the new initiative, making it difficult for smooth and efficient takeoff of the new scheme as envisaged by the government. The commissioner attributed the many challenges of waste evacuation to population explosion, which he said was overstretching public infrastructure in the states.
As a result of the dynamism of the environment, there are bound to be gaps, which will probably take time to surmount. It's part of the price we need to pay for a city that's working.
The commissioner, who assured residents that there would be visible changes in waste collection before the rains set in, appealed to them to complement government efforts by bagging their wastes before disposal. In Lagos, Nusa Ursula, NTA News.
Legal practitioners have been advised to continue to uphold and improve the frontiers of excellence in the legal profession in preservation of contributions of a great legal icon, late Professor Michael Ajomo, former Director General of the Nigerian Institute of Advanced Legal Studies. The advice was given at a special tribute in his honor in Lagos. Vera Chumba has details.
Legal experts say the contributions of late Professor Michael Ayodele Ajomo to international community, law, legal education, and the federal government, especially in the production of guidelines on negotiation and drafting of international contracts and agreements, not only became the practice manual for both public and private sectors, but saved federal government millions of naira. They urged Nigerians to emulate the worthy line of late Professor Ajomo, who exhibited and maintained a high degree of integrity, transparency, honesty, and purposeful leadership.
Usually when we sign international contracts, we will have arbitration take place abroad. And he said no. He said no, that how many of our people can go abroad and handle arbitration. So he insisted that we must have arbitration take place in Nigeria.
We must recognize that it is when we play our part that we will have the opportunity to tell others to play their part. Papa Ajomo played his part very well.
He carried himself well, with a lot of integrity and a high sense of responsibility.
Members of the legal community, while acknowledging his numerous contributions in Nigeria and abroad, described him as a pillar of support, an administrator, an international legal personality of repute, whose legacies cannot be quantified, and however did not go without recognition.
Message to the elderly ones in position of authority. The duty they owe to those coming after them is simply about Baba's generosity of mind in bringing up others.
If you want to attain certain heights in life, in respect of your profession, especially the law profession, you must keep on updating yourself.
The array of dignitaries that converged on Lagos in honor of late Professor Michael Ayodele Ajomo gave credence to him as an outstanding legal scholar who served the University of Lagos as Dean of Law and Director General, Nigerian Institute of Advanced Legal Studies. In Lagos, Vera Chomuba, NTA News.
And that's a contribution on the news segment. Julie has more on Morning Ride. Over to you, Julie.
Thank you so very much, Elizabeth. And in line with the news, up next now is our newspaper review of what made headlines during the week. Please stay with us.
It's good to have you join us on a review of newspaper headlines during the week on Morning Ride. From the news desk of the Daily Trust newspaper of Monday, April 30th, 2018 came this bold headline: How voting pattern will shape 2019 polls. On the front page were also these sub-headlines: National Assembly lacks powers to summon Buhari, says lawyers. Go on, Nigeria must avoid another civil war. The New Telegraph of Wednesday, May 2nd, 2018 had this bold headline: Most northern youths uneducated, says Buhari. Others recruitment of 6,000 policemen from 774 local government areas. With the rider, media not reporting our achievements, says President. Above and below the mast were also these sub-headlines, respectively: Looted funds. Nigeria, US agree on return of $500 million. Suicide bombers kill 60 in Adamawa. The Guardian of Thursday, May 3rd, 2018 had this bold headline: Max DSS operatives storm National Assembly. With the rider, Senate petitions presidency as IGP shuns invitation. On the front page was also this sub-headline: No political campaign before December 2018, INEC wants. And last but not least was this bold headline on the Daily Trust of Friday, May 4th, 2018. 43 persons killed in Adamawa and Zamfara. On the front page were also these sub-headlines: Gowon warns against impeaching Buhari. CBN signs $2.5 billion currency swap deal with China. And that's our package on headlines during the week. Morning Ride continues shortly.
You're still watching Morning Ride on your reach out station NTA2. Newspaper headlines there, what happened during the week. And still in line with the news, we'll now go to the papers we have here this morning for Saturday. And we have first with us the Saturday Sun. The boldest headline here says, of a bank robbery, faces of evil. With the rider, police declare 4 gang leaders wanted. Put on Interpol red alert. You see the pictures below. And just below the pictures there, we have this story that says, Biafra, IPOB orders sit at home, May 30. And just beside the mass there, we have ex-minister Idika Kalu's home bombed. With the rider, residents' cars destroyed. For more stories or details of all of this, please pick up the Saturday Sun today and read on. The next paper is Daily Trust, with the boldest headline that says, parties damn INEC, run campaigns. With the rider, we spent over 100 million on Dino's recall. A statement credited to Professor Yakubu. And just below that, codeine in bottles, death in their veins. If you want details of this story, please pick up the Daily Trust of today. And just after that story, below it, we have this one that says, there is no pact on 4 years for Buhari, says Senator Ibrahim. Please pick up the Daily Trust for more stories and the details of this. The next paper with us is The Guardian. And we have this headline that says, "Don't politicize killings by insurgents," Muslim group tells media. Please pick up The Guardian for today for interesting stories and details of this one. The next story is Saturday Telegraph, and this has the boldest headline that says, "Confessions of Codeine Addicts." A story you can get on pages 2 and 3 of the Saturday Telegraph. And just above the mask there we have the stories, "Kashamu can be arrested," says appeal court. Next to that is, "Neighbors stopped alleged killer wife from traveling abroad." Next to that story is, "Return Mulaye to National Hospital, judge tells police." For the details of all of these stories, please pick up the Saturday Telegraph for more. And that's all we have for the papers of today. And now moving on, I have my first guest in the house, and we are going to be looking at a digital expo that is coming up soon. It is a yearly event, and this year is around the corner. I have with me in the house the MD of Express Payment Solutions Limited, Dr. Oluwadare Owolabi. You're welcome on set.
Thank you very much, madam. Thank you for having me.
All right, yes, we are looking at the expo that is taking place today, yes. that is about to start, and we are here today to talk about it. Well, we would like you to really put in perspective some of the benefits that most Nigerians may not be aware of, or maybe are ignorant about. It's all about digitization, and we cannot say it enough without mentioning the central bank's cashless policy initiative. Can we begin with that? Let's compare the gains and how we can optimize the use of this.
Thank you. I think the cashless initiative, that is an initiative from the central bank, has really modernized the payment system in Nigeria. It can be comparable to other countries, developed nations like United States, United Kingdom, and so on and so forth. Today you see people carry less cash because they have other payment channels. You can use your POSs, you can use your ATMs better, you can be able to do transaction on the USSD and so much and so on. It has brought a lot of innovation into the payment sector. This has really changed the game. Some time ago, I live in the United States, I want to pay somebody, and you come to Nigeria, you see you carry a lot of cash around. It's not safe. And people have challenges doing that. But today you can transfer real time, online, and it's actually better than some other countries. Like when you do online NIPS transfer, that is immediately hit your account within seconds. That is not found anywhere else in the world. So we are moving to the right direction, and I think the cashless initiatives have really helped the nation. Has brought in a lot of jobs. It has brought in a lot of employment. It has helped to develop innovative products across board. So it's a good one.
Well, in as much as we applaud it, it also has its downsides, doesn't it?
Yes.
Aside the fact that, well, it has greatly reduced the burden of carrying cash from one place to the other. Well, the downsides of this, how do you see it? Doesn't it touch strongly on the users?
Well, some of the users, maybe you are now talking about the lower end of the pyramid.
Exactly.
So there's some of those people that are still used to cash. But now the development of innovative products are getting to that light. So, for example, we are doing something we call the agency banking.
Agency banking.
Yes, so where you can go into the nook and corners of the rural areas, like my village in Ekiti State. You can go, you can be able to transfer money to an agent. Agent will pay the individual without going to the bank. You can be able to, that's why the creation of the mobile money scheme that started in 2011, and that is how that is working today. So you see a lot of people now developing, even the banks developing on the dependent on the agents, because you can go to the agent, open an account, you can go to the agent and do the micro credit scheme, insurance, and so on and so forth. So if you say it's a disadvantage because that cash is not there to be carried around, but there are innovative products now that are helping across board.
And the user is being educated on how to,
yes, trained, educated, and to be able to use those services.
All right, that's interesting. Now, your company, Express Payment Solutions Limited, you're part of this year's expo, and you are a first-timer, so to say?
Yes.
You're a first-timer.
Yes.
We would like to know why the strong interest for you this time around. You've always been there, you've been following the trends and all of that, and you decided to participate fully and actively this year. What's the greatest catch for you there?
Thank you for that. We are a pretty new company, but very aggressive. Okay. In the last 2 years, we've done very well, but now we want to use that to showcase our brand and to be able to demonstrate the capabilities around innovative products and services that we offer. And that's also to be able to present how we can offer solutions around the bank, and the lower end of the pyramid. We are really supporting the central bank cashless initiatives to be able to do all the necessary things and moving towards the Vision 2020 initiative. So that is why Express Payment is there today. We are aggressively pursuing it, building solutions and services around it that can offer to even corporations, unbanked, banked, and lower end of the pyramid. So we are the agency banking framework that we are presenting and targeting all those villages, nook and corners of the country.
Every year there's always a theme for the celebration, so to say. This year's theme, does it fall in line? How apt is it? Does it fall in line with your corporate service?
Yes, because for the TCI team is focusing on financial inclusion. And as I mentioned,
is there any year they don't talk about financial inclusion?
Well, it's a policy, and that is very key into the payments Vision 2020 of the central bank. So financial inclusion is very key. Until at the end of the day, you can be able to take the financial services into the nook and corners of the country, the villages and all that. We'll continue to talk about it until we have all those people in the village be able to transact on all this and be able to showcase who actually is transacted, you know, who is doing business, how that business showcase the bottom line of the banks and all that. So that is key at this moment in time. So we will continue to see that financial inclusion part of the Expo initiative every year till we get to a particular point
where we can comfortably say yes, we have met the target. And all. Now, looking at digital innovation, can it really and truly drive the national economy, so to say?
Yes, because
to what extent?
Economists have said that 1/3 of the payment system innovation actually helps to drive the economy in a better side. And you look at this, for example, I mentioned the use of the agency banking, which helps to actually employ a lot of people across board. You have the technology there, product and service. I mentioned the Star 737, for example, the GTB, that helps them everybody to transact business online real time without much havoc. So many things. So this helps to modernize the payment sectors, and this helps to actually help bring in investors into the company, looking at the fact that now it's not about carrying cash around. It's about being innovative. It's about being my product and services being used and confidently secure. We have security is no more a concern and all that. So
and convenience too.
And convenience too. You can see it in the new colors of your room and do transactions. You don't need to run to the bank. You know, just do it right there, and the person you send the money has gotten it. So that actually is bringing a lot of business into the country, a lot of investment in the country, creating jobs and so much other things for individuals and all that. Also being able to compare ourselves with other developed nations.
That's interesting. We're talking on the whole now. Now, in what specific ways somebody watching it could be more interested in what your company has to offer? In what specific ways are you driving this digital innovation in your company now? What peculiarities or what uniqueness are you bringing on the table?
Okay, so in our company, Express Payment, we develop solutions that can help you see that in corners companies, look at corners of your office and do transfers. You know, you can pay your salaries without even leaving your office. You can pay your salaries without using the checks and all that. That is a solution until soon. The agency banking, as I said, is also another aspect. Be able to help the banks open an account without them having the brick and mortar. So it really actually reduce the expenses from the banks when they say building branches across the board. You just have your POSs, and people will be able to walk in there and do transaction, withdraw, cash in, cash out, be able to open an account, be able to open insurance scheme for you and your family, and all that. So that in itself is some of the things we provide to help individuals, to help consumers. So Express Payment does that, and that's one of the things we do. So in this year we'll be able to showcase some of these products I've mentioned about
to your clients and
prospects, and also be able to allow people to transact business across board. For example, you want to transfer money today from Lagos to Damaturu, you have an agent in Damaturu that will pick up the phone, that will be able to service your people there and be able to give them funds. There are places in the country today that whenever they pay salaries, they have to travel about 45 kilometers to access the funds. Now that means that person that they might not work, might not even go to his office. But now being able to bring all those solutions and products will help to get people to actually be able to be in the office and be able to transact without much disturbance.
That's interesting. Okay, even as the expo comes, you're looking out to getting new prospects, clients, and to let them know the services that you offer. You know, what is that thing you're telling one prospect, the one client that you want to attend to be part of this expo to catch this year?
Well, for at Express Payment, we provide a secure, fast, and easy platform. So when I say secure, fast, and easy platform compared to other competitors, our platform is ready to use. It's easy to use. It's secure. It's you can be sure that your whatever you do transactions wise get to the other end without any issues. So I would tell my clients that you come to Express Payments for transactions. We have platforms that are secure, fast, and easy. We provide products and services that will enable your youth to have a smarter living, stress-free, stress-free transactions across board.
Okay, someone could just get so much interested that you have really converted, so to say, right now. How can that person just locate you? Is it at the expo, or you want to give out a contact that somebody can call and make inquiries and get to know more?
You can visit our website, www.expresspayments.com. Our office is at 23 Obaki Jobi, way in Ikeja in GRA. We are available at info@expresspayments.com. My personal email is oluwadare.owolabi@expresspayments.com.
So this expo that we're talking about now, when and where is it at?
Sorry?
The expo we're talking about, when and where is it at?
The expo is going to be here in Victoria Island, and the normal location where we have it on a yearly basis, which is at the Hotel.
Okay, that's interesting. All right. We want to say thank you for joining us today on Morning Rides. Managing Director, Express Payment Solutions Limited, Dr. Oluwadare Owolabi. We wish you all the best and huge success as you carry out this expo.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Alright, you're still watching Morning Ride, and right now, sports on the go. Back on Status. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Sports Sports on the go on Morning Ride. We start with tennis. Barcelona Open is an annual tennis tournament for male professional players who are rated by ATP. The event has been held in Barcelona, Spain, every year since 1953, and it's played on clay courts at the Rio Club de Tennis, Spain. One man that has made the tournament attractive and delightful for fans is Rafael Nadal. Since 2005, he has won it back-to-back with the exception of 2014 when he lost to Juan Martín del Potro. The just concluded 2018 Barcelona Open had an unfamiliar face and name in the person of Stefanos Tsitsipas in the final against world number 1 Rafael Nadal.
Oh, wonderful. Just simply no reply to ball striking of that quality.
Nadal beat the 19-year-old from Greece in a straight set 6-2, 6-2. This is the 11th win since 2005, thereby becoming the king of Barcelona Open and winning the star prize money.
There it is. Rafa Nadal once again is victorious here. It's been a one-sided final. All credit to Tsitsipas on his first ever ATP Tour final. But the experience, the ability and the sheer talent of Rafa Nadal, far too good on the day. And Rafa, King Rafa reigns in Barcelona for the 11th time.
Now on to motor race, the Formula One. The 2018 Azerbaijan Grand Prix was full of crashes and drivers retiring before the end of the race. The organizer says they had never witnessed such crisis since the inception of the sport in 1926. Valtteri Bottas leads the race, entering the final laps but blew his tire after hitting some debris on the track and was overtaken by teammate Lewis Hamilton, who went on to beat Ferrari's Kimi Räikkönen to first place with Sergio Perez in third.
I didn't. I control the pace, so like all the other restarts, I slowed down in the same spot. He was obviously sleeping and drove into the back of me, but that wasn't for me an issue.
Now on to football. Despite losing 4-2 to AS Roma in Rome, Liverpool still qualified 7-6 on aggregate to set up a pulsating finals with Real Madrid. Madrid beat Bayern 4-3 on aggregate after drawing 2-2 for the return leg at the Bernabeu.
Leading away from a weary Hummels. Asensio! Cruising away now. Real Madrid, the ultimate show club. Tease you and punch you away. Yeah, that was a lovely goal. Asensio. I think it was very, very noticeable how tired and out on their feet Jerome Boateng and particularly Max Hummels were.
Still talking football, former Barcelona, Chelsea and ex-Ireland international Edu Johnson takes us into his 22 years football career and how life is treating him after retirement.
I had an amazing time, had amazing moments in my career, and in life, you know, retirement for footballers always comes a little bit earlier than normal life.
Okay.
So we're doing some different things now.
Johnson says Nigeria has great potentials, having played with some great notable Nigerian players abroad.
What I see here is, you know, a lot of passion for football, and I'm sure we'll see Nigerians, you know, who will be playing at the top level.
However, he believes Argentina will qualify from Group D and any other surprise team can join them.
Let's say Argentina and one surprise.
That is all on Sports on the Go on Morning Ride.
Argentina and one surprise indeed. Anyway, that was Sports on the Go on Morning Ride. Just in case you're just tuning in, Before we meet our next set of guests, let's go on a quick break and we'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Change does not just happen. You and I and all of us must appreciate that we all have our part to play if we want to bring change about. We must change our lawless habits, our attitude to public office, and public trust. We must change our unruly behavior in schools, hospitals, marketplaces, motor parks, on the roads, in homes and offices. To bring about change, we must change ourselves by being law-abiding citizens.
You're still watching Morning Ride on your recharge station NTA2. We are going to another discussion segment, and I have my next set of guests already seated in the house. Today, the 5th of May, is the International Day of the Midwife. Of course, we all know who the midwife is, and they deserve every honor and every respect because they really do help in nation building. You know that old saying, when you train a woman, you train a nation. And well, midwives may not be out of this because 99.9% of all of them are women. They are here to prove me wrong if I am, and we are going to be looking at what they have been doing and what they can do a whole lot more in taking care of our mothers, our pregnant women, and the unborn child, and even at childbirth. So join me in welcoming on set this morning 3 beautiful set of women. I have Zoiwu Obiageli, who has a BSc in health education, registered nurse and registered midwife. Okay. Sitting next to her is Akinde Elizabeth. We understand why that pause is there. Pardon me. She has an MA Advanced Midwifery and Neonatal Nursing Science. And of course, next to her is Nyogugu Lois, BSc Health Education, registered nurse, registered midwife. Of course, Mrs. Akinde Elizabeth too is a registered nurse and a registered midwife. You're all welcome on Morning Ride this morning. Thank you. So let's land and start running, so to say. Today is our celebration day, and why are we looking so flat? We should be happy that we're celebrating today. This is your day. But we cannot take the fact away that you are doing a whole lot, and we say congratulations. We cannot honor you enough and all. But this year's theme is midwives leading the way with quality care. Mrs. Akinde Elizabeth, am I right? So what informs this theme for this year, please?
Yes, thank you. Midwives are the linchpin in reducing maternal mortality. Midwives, they are the first hand that welcome every human being that is born per vaginum into the world. You are the first person that touched that. So this theme is designed to show that we have to lead in quality care. The midwives have to lead in quality care. It means that something has to be done about quality, and midwives are leading, and they should lead in that care.
In what specific ways? Because when we think of midwives, we know, okay, they take care of our pregnant mothers, they take care of them, and at the point of delivery they ensure that to the best of their ability that everything goes well. Not even that, they don't even stop there, even after childbirth, to ensure that mothers, get quality care alongside the babies, so to say. So is there a point where that care that you give stops? Like you say, okay, we have done our bits, Mrs. Nwogugu?
Yes. There's a place where it stops. It stops when, after 6 weeks, the midwife is the woman's partner in that pregnancy journey.
Okay.
So you start with her, and then by 6 weeks, you would have done, there are series of things, cares that you give. At 6 weeks, when she comes for the postnatal, after the midwife's assessment,
6 weeks after
delivery. The midwife assesses the woman and then discharges her to the physician. That is, she's not like every other person. If she's diabetic, the physician sees if she's whatever every other person sees. And the baby is also discharged to infant welfare clinic, where the midwife also is an active participant with the pediatric nurse, and all that continues. So at 6 weeks, she's
after
done.
Checking her.
Yes.
Okay, Mrs. Obegeli, at that 6 weeks now, what are the things you look out for to say that yes, she is now, she can, so to say, stand on her own and be like any other patient, so to say? What are the things you look out for?
You check the woman's vital signs, the blood pressures and all those ones to check whether she's fit to be discharged. You also check the progress of that baby's growth.
For the period of that 6 weeks?
Yes.
Okay.
You still be health educating her on the need for good nutrition, personal hygiene, breastfeeding, care of the infant, and when to wean the infant to normal family food. Yes.
All of this education you give to the mother?
Yes.
Okay. You don't just stop at the mother?
No. You continue the care even to the infant, to the baby.
To the baby?
Yes. And you follow the woman up. Even you educate her on the need to space. That's when you introduce the family planning. Yes.
That's all part of the care we're talking about that you give. All right, Mrs. I'm sure you have been itching to say something as regards this now. All right, at what point, we're looking at maternal mortality. How would you assess this whole situation in Nigeria when we talk about maternal mortality? What are the options available towards reducing this? And from your assessment, how well?
Right now, the maternal mortality rate is graded at 576 deaths per 100,000 live births.
That's is that in 2018 or 2017?
2018.
Because I know that 2017 was above 800.
Yeah.
Placed us.
Yeah. And 576 presently.
Now, okay.
And our goal is to reduce it as minimal as 70 per 100,000 live births.
Okay.
So the care, the quality care we are giving, the awareness we are creating is, part of what will help us reduce the maternal mortality rates in Nigeria.
Okay. Well, as individuals and as a group, you really would want to go the extra mile, and to an extent you see results in what you do. To an extent too, there are challenges. Sometimes you feel your hands are tied. You want to share some of these tight moments with us?
Yeah, there are tight moments, but the way we midwives want to look at it is, let us see what we can do without so many things tie hands. But let's see what we can do in our corner without tying hands. Because there are so many, we want to walk, this thing is not there. We want to do this, that thing is not there. Will you now fold hand and watch the woman die? So what is it that you can do without tying hands? So
do you think that would be enough to save the woman, all your own efforts, when you know that the major things, this one is not here, this one is not there, and you know you are willing on your own, the much you can deliver, that much, is it enough to save a life?
That much is not enough. That's not the ideal. But at least that much if you do it, it's just like little drops, little drops. Because when you're waiting for the ideal situation, it may not come. So let's people keep on appealing to the conscience of those stakeholders, those that make decisions that affect everybody. Society will keep on appealing to their conscience. But for us, we also will keep on appealing to their conscience. But we are now asking, what will I do to save the situation? So there are things we can do. We can create awareness. We can maybe start with the first delay. What can I do there? Create awareness. Mobilize the women. Go to the marketplace, community, religious houses, women meeting. Tell her there is need for you to, when you're pregnant, come to the clinic. I am your partner in this. Talk to their husbands. Is it not our husbands that are making these policies? They are our husbands, they are our brothers, they are our children. So any opportunity you see, talk to them. You are the woman's advocate. Advocate for her. Talk to her. When she has the knowledge, she doesn't need university education to go to antenatal clinic. What we want is that basic awareness and knowledge, and then encourage empowerment. If that woman, when we talk about them, we are not talking about you and I. I'm sure if you're pregnant, you know where to go. We are talking about that ordinary woman. Because of religious culture, whatever. So you teach them, tell them, see, you can do something. You can empower yourself economically. Economy is power. You can, if you know this thing, knowledge is power. So if you're able to address that, giving her the strength to take responsibility of her own health, let her know that, see, this life we are talking about is your life. So if you create that awareness and they know, and they now come to your facility. So you have succeeded in phase 1. You now come to the phase 3. So when they now come there, this is where you can now come to play with all your skills. What will I do? You sort out those that are at risk in pregnancy. Once you sort them out, you arrange them. This one is going to this place. You refer them to the appropriate place and at that appropriate time. Don't wait until complications. If you just suspect, let her go at the right time. Prepare her mind. Growth monitoring, monitor her pregnancy, blood pressure, drugs that she needs, treat malaria if it presents, take care of her. Some of them at that reproductive age, you will see a woman that has a toddler, and maybe she has 4, 2, and then there is this one. Exactly. So she has to take care, maybe the 4 have started school. The 2, she has to take care. So you have to have a large heart to accommodate her and that other one she's bringing. So you take care everybody in totality. Even husband, you bring husband. In an environment we are not comfortable with partner. So if it is where they use partner, bring partner. Bring a birth companion. Who do you think can make a strong decision and say, go? If she tells you, if she can write, but if she can't, you write a letter and give her to give that person. You can even involve that person. So you do, as you're doing that antenatally sorting her out, you're managing. When it gets to labor, you are there. You have to, that labor must be supervised, must be monitored, and anytime we teach them. Sorry, I'm a teacher, so I talk a lot on teaching. We teach them that anywhere the woman shows sign of distress means that labor is too much for her. At any point, don't tell her that you are near this 9 cm. Intervene. Labor is not a stress test.
You know, I can go on and on listening to you because you're just giving me the right words that I want to hear. Not just because, and I'm not to say, you're not just telling me because I want to hear. We're talking to the midwives themselves now, to yourselves. That's all what you have been saying here. You are referring to the midwives themselves. If every midwife out there carries out to the letter as you have just said it, that alone is enough to reduce maternal mortality. But, well, they are doing that. We know that a great number of you are doing that. But there are still some exceptions. Pregnant women will tell you, some, like this you just say it now. Don't tell her you're near death and all that. Some can be that rude to tell the woman that. Some can use, rough words on that, on them, even in the labor room and all of that. Women go in there and they come out and they tell stories of how, they are in that point of almost no return, and this one is slamming her with this, and they do, and come on, let me not use those foul words there. We'll keep appealing to our conscience, and even to the midwife, and even to the pregnant woman herself. Mrs. Odagali, at this point in time, we want you to now, with all that Mrs. Akinde has expatiated upon now, do we now say, with all of these efforts, so far so good, in terms of maternal mortality, that you have been monitoring and saying that, midwives are putting their efforts to a great extent and it is yielding results?
Yes, I can say that they are putting in more efforts because the maternal mortality rate has dropped, and we are hoping to achieve lesser rates.
By way of that, I'm asking, do you really put things in place to check? Do you monitor the activities of your people?
Yes.
You monitor. Yes. You really want to let us know how you do this? You want to let us know how you do this, Mrs. Wogugu?
Yes. In every establishment and in every profession, you have people that monitors your quality of care. Even in midwifery, we have such. Our nursing council and midwifery council is there to monitor our inputs, and anybody that is not doing it right will be sanctioned.
Just like in any other organization.
Yeah. So what I'm talking about in effect is that midwifery practice in Nigeria has greatly improved. Yes. I can say that anyway.
Okay, somewhere just before today I was discussing with some people and they said, midwives, we only see elderly faces. Why are the younger ones being scared? What is carrying them away? I don't know. Well, I don't know if this is a right perception or it's wrong. We don't see young people actively in this anymore. They are, most of them are.
We have them. Still coming back to monitoring. There's audits. Every facility has audits units that audit the work, whatever you do. And then we have monitoring team. There's monitoring team that monitor all these things. And then our people, some of them don't even know when to complain or report. So they don't, if they don't complain, if they don't report, and they go home and start reporting, then it's not.
When you say our people, you mean Nigerians, like patients now?
Yes, patients.
To any ill service being given to them.
Yes, but if they should report and say this person said things that are not so good to me in the course of
we get it everywhere.
But the thing is that they carry some of these things are not really true.
Really?
That's what I think, and I know. Some of these things are not really true. When you are in labor, you are there. The midwife is telling, nobody wants, see, it is only the vet doctor that eats his patient too. No other health care wants there. So you want the baby to come and you are talking to the woman who push, and she's sleeping. Second stage, they want to dose a little, and you don't want dose. So you are supporting and saying, you can do it. I don't think, let's leave that one.
Okay. The whole essence of some of that is just to celebrate today. So what do we have on our lineup today? How are we doing this celebration? Where are we going from here? What's the lineup? This is part of it anyway, this enlightenment.
Thank you.
Yes.
In some states, they are doing I know that in Kaduna, they are doing community mobilization. In another state, they are doing, some are going to the marketplaces. You just want to create awareness, talk to people. Some will visit religious places. Some will just go pray. Some will celebrate, have fun, go to the beach, and all that. It is our day. And so we will have come here. It is also our day.
Yes, and we are so glad that we invited you, at least to give you our little honor on Morning Ride, to know, for you to know that we appreciate what you do, and we are great people. We know that in a full basket, of course, we may have 1 or 2 bad eggs and all of that, but we know you are great. You are the ones that are building our nations, and we know it can only get better from here onwards. It will keep dropping by the grace of God. Yes, so thank you so very much for coming on Morning Ride today. Today is the International Day of the Midwife, and the celebration continues after here. We've been having an interesting chat with them on maternal mortality, and of course, as regards the theme for this year's celebration, midwives leading the way with quality care. We're still watching Morning Ride. We will take a quick break now. When we return, the program continues. Please go ahead.
You and the people you know do not fall into slavery. Don't believe fake promises of jobs abroad.
People were told say Libya, Italy no easy when they carry me on top water. 4 days now they lock me for inside house, no food, no water. I nearly die. Now God.
Power using platforms domiciled under the SY training command color, including the 228, L39 and MB39 amongst others. The retiring color has also been deployed during ceremonial and regimental functions over the years, including Nigeria Air Force reunion. The reviewing officer, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as a mark of honor, may I humbly request that we all rise to bid farewell to the retiring training command color. Thank you, sir.